Hello again, friends. So, week 2 of Can We Run Technology? The answer is not yet, but we have confidence in ourselves as we move to new and exciting locations across the building. We apologize for our technical difficulties. If you want to see the way we've wired this, here's our Wi-Fi puck beep, 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 that we've run ever so delicately down. Da, da, da. But this momentary lapse has given us time to get our drone up in the air. So if you're just joining us for the first time, we do have 2 other live streams from tonight because we're awesome. But so you can take a peek as to what we've talked about already on the roof. But now we're going to go to our air coverage because we fancy showing the rest of how this all connects. So to Alex on the drone.
Alrighty. Hopefully we won't have any more issues here. So we're taking off in front of the theater here.
Look at it, she's a beauty. Look at that mask.
You can see the mask on our Pharaoh on the front of the marquee.
Shout out to Barb Larson.
Hashtag mask
Thanks,
up to Calm.
Woo.
So as we go up, make sure your tray tables continue to stay up.
Yeah, your seats are in the upright and locked positions.
Until we get to the cruising altitude.
Which is under
40 feet, 50 feet, going up some.
Yeah.
So we're coming up here above the roof, above the front entry and the lobby there, and you can see the ductwork. So this unit we hadn't shown just a little bit ago, but that unit down there is the rooftop unit for the lobby spaces.
And that was kind of the challenge piece because that part of the roof is 90 years old.
Yep.
So when you have modern equipment, as we showed you earlier, it's heavy, it's big, it's a beefy. So we had to figure out ways to make it structurally sound to place heavy new equipment onto an existing wall and roof structure that's nearly a century old.
Yeah, and we couldn't put it right on the roof because as Janine said, engineering-wise, it couldn't handle it. So they actually had to install I-beams from one wall to the other wall.
From like north to south?
From north to south, yeah, left to right, kind of as you're looking at it there. And then they put the unit on top of that. So the unit is actually not on the roof. It is spanned from the exterior walls.
It's floating?
It's floating.
Oh my.
It's magic.
Guys, that seems like we spent too much money on something that should just be sitting on I-beam, not floating.
Yes. So you can see the unit down there, and then all of that white ductwork. This is Thermoduct that's insulated on the outside, so no matter what the temperature is outside, the cooling or the heating running through it is going to make it inside. And so it branches off and goes to the east and to the west there. So the right through what is our office space above the front doors, and the ductwork.
I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen.
Use your laser
You guys
pointer.
can see where I'm pointing.
Yes, but the ductwork goes into the office space there and then wraps down around and goes into the lobby. The left branch comes all the way down, scoots around onto the addition and pokes into the old building and provides air from the west end. So
you use such nice terms.
What?
It scoots, it pokes, it wraps around. Very nice. Very nice
These are
diction
technical
terms.
engineering
I am a fan of it. So
I'm sorry if you can't keep up.
No, I can't, but I appreciate it. So you said about making it so no matter the temperature outside. Now, will there be condensation on any of these ductwork works?
There should not be. There's enough insulation there that there really shouldn't be any temperature variance between the inside of the duct and the outside. So we shouldn't get
So you're not going to have any water issues up on the roof?
No, and all of these, there you can see a little bit better the duct work going right into the building. So it's kind of your traditional metal duct work. And then it's wrapped with the Thermoduct that helps insulate that and also helps keep water out of the ductwork. So you can see it was quite the feat. One, to get all this stuff up here, all the rooftop units were craned up onto the roof as well as all of those I-beams.
We really wanted a helicopter, but you know,
yeah,
funding.
Wasn't in the budget.
That's a shame. That'd be aggressive.
So you can see here the top of the addition that we were just showing you guys earlier. Some of the condensing units there for the walk-in beer cooler, as well as some of the concession stand refrigerators.
To keep the air cool on the roof?
Yes, yes. we turn those on and winter comes along. So
winter is coming.
Yeah. So we're up on here, the roof of the new addition, and again we talked about there's a lot of equipment sitting on this roof that we were able to build up the structure of this roof to be able to handle all of that. Since we weren't able to put it on any of the existing roofs. And
now,
we'll get to the stage here in a little bit, but yes.
The air handlers, or that's what's down in the basement?
Yes.
So, we had originally thought of putting them up here. What was the decision-making process into not doing that?
Yeah, so the auditorium units are massive, as we've talked about. And so they would have taken a lot of structure and a lot of space. If you look up here on the roof of the addition, there really isn't any other space that we could have put
snug.
More equipment up here. So
look how that's snaking about.
So that was part of it, but also by putting those units inside, we'll extend the life of those by about double. So
that's awesome.
On the roof, these units should last about 20 to 25 years. Inside the building should hopefully last upwards of 50 years.
Wow.
Although technology will probably change in that time period.
It'll be teeny tiny.
But it was worth the investment to put it in, and we just didn't have the square footage on the roof here.
Makes sense. And would that cut down on noise, or would you have to do more stuff with the acousticians?
Yeah, there would be a lot more acoustical concerns.
That makes sense.
What you're looking at right there is the supply shaft that comes all the way up from the basement, and that is what the heating and cooling from the basement comes all the way up through that supply shaft. And then if you see on the left side of that, kind of the silver shiny, the little turtle back there. That curves into the auditorium roof and distributes out through the auditorium. So what you're looking at right there is the barrel roof above the auditorium. It's one of Janine's favorite spots to go walking across.
I shan't go across. I shan't. I shall stay on the flat part.
So you can see it there a little bit better, that supply shaft that comes all the way up from the basement. It's quite large. I don't know the actual dimensions, but it's probably...
We went down into that, like right at the start of this.
We did, yeah. So it's probably at least 15 foot by 20 foot coming up all the way from the basement. And then that splits off into the under balcony and up to the ceiling.
And what you're seeing on the left there, that's the back of like Hertz Farm Management, isn't it?
Yep.
To give an idea.
Those are our neighbors on 2nd Street
where we're sitting.
And there's one of our ladders to get up onto the roofs here. So we do have ladders between all the different roofs. So for maintenance and inspections, we're able to access all of these different areas, both to check on the roofs and make sure things stay dry. But now that we've got equipment up here as well to be able to monitor all of that.
Look at it.
So this is the stage roof.
That's a beefy beast.
Yeah, so we've got 2 units up here, 2 separate units. They work in tandem to handle all of the cooling for the stage. And we've talked a little bit about it on stage, but the key with these units was a very high volume, very low velocity. And this is so that we don't get stage curtains moving when the units are running. We don't get fog and haze that's moving all over the stage, that we're able to kind of preserve the theatrics of what's going on stage.
Now, Alex, heat rises. Does heat go through there?
The heat does not come up through those vents. Well, kind of. There's so each vent or each rooftop unit there, you see 2 ducts. Yes. One of them is supply and one is return. Yes. So there is actual duct work at the top of both sides of the stage as part of the return air. So you are correct, during the summer months you're going to get heat rising all the way up. The stage roof is, do you know?
How 50 feet?
50 feet up, yes.
Boom! Janine does homework and listens to Alex.
You get a sticker.
Yay! But in the wintertime, should we be concerned that all of the heat is just going to linger up at the top?
So in the winter, we're using baseboard heat. Because of the height of that space, these units would not be efficient, because you were correct with the physics there, that heat rises. 50 feet up would be really tough to try and push the heat all the way down. So these are air conditioning only that you're looking at there. So 2 units, same thing with the I-beams. We were not able to set these units directly on the roof there. So you can see the I-beams.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Spanning from one exterior wall all the way over to the other.
Now, what's the little hut?
In the middle of the roof there?
Yeah, the pagoda.
So this is our smoke hatch. Most stages.
Is that where you have to go have a cigarette?
No,
That seems
no.
aggressive. That's how you quit smoking.
You have to climb a ladder 50 feet up. No, this is, there are hatches on the top of the stage roof, and this is typical of most stages. And if there were, heaven forbid, ever a fire in the auditorium or on the stage where there was a ton of smoke building up, there are some levers on stage that we can hit that would open up those hatches and let that smoke out, so that as the audience is starting to leave, that we're able to get smoke out of the building. So that's
interesting.
Yeah. So as you're driving down Locust Street, and
If you see it smoking,
well,
run.
I was going to say, if you see that little roof up there, now you know what that is. But you can see these were also very challenging to get in. So those are coming down the face there and then poking into the stage. And again, you've got one of those is supply and the other one is return. So those were extremely challenging, not only to get all of this equipment up there 50 foot up on the roof.
But over the side there.
Yes.
That's a challenge.
This was interesting watching the crane do this. If you go back now a couple months ago, but we have some drone footage of the day that they were actually craning these units up there. It was pretty cool to see them moving those up there, getting all the I-beams in place, and then took a couple of weeks to get all of that ductwork in place. So there you can see one of those I-beams a little bit better that's spanning from one exterior wall to the other. So there's two really long ones that go north to south, and then there's a couple ones in between to add some rigidity there.
Look at that barrel roof.
So that's the auditorium there below us. Very large space. When you kind of compare it to the front doors there, you know, I think when people come and see the theater for the first time, they're always really surprised.
That it's big?
They see the front doors and think it's, you know, skinny
Pequeño.
and not that big.
Very
They don't
neat.
realize that it goes back behind these neighboring businesses and then takes this 90-degree turn and really opens up. So there you're looking straight down on top of the lobby roof.
And the office space.
The office roof there, and then we're coming
There's our
back
marquee.
to 2nd Street to the front doors.
Da, 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 da. Making a
So,
turn.
Brandon, is there any questions as we've been going along here?
There has not been any questions,
All
but
right.
Aaron Kramer has an original side of the marquee.
Wow, somebody has...
Says it's in his will to give back to us.
Oh my goodness, that is
Aaron,
very cool.
What a guy. That's so cool that you have a piece of our marquee. Because yes, this is the 4th marquee that we have had on this gorgeous building. It is 90 years old. But you can see that front facade. Look at that with the beetle looking gorgeous. It's my favorite part. So yeah, we have definitely seen the front of this building change a bit. And now you're seeing the rooftop change a bit. But I think ultimately for the better.
Yes.
For the cooler.
So again, our front doors there on 2nd Street, and just to the left, you can see the new facade back there of the addition. And we'll go ahead and bring it back to us now.
Hello
All right.
again. We're back on the ground.
We've landed, we're back. Everybody's safe.
It was quite a flight.
I think we're still connected.
Yeah.
Roxanne wanted to know where we're. So we're on the roof.
We're on
Yes,
the roof.
we're on the roof,
Over by the
showing you
hatchy-do.
around. So that's kind of the quick synopsis of the roof here. All of the rooftop units and air conditioning have been in for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So we are a little disappointed that our first summer in 90 years that we were going to have air
know.
conditioning, and our hope was to have programming this summer. Alas, that didn't pan out.
We had to pivot.
Yes.
2020.
In these unprecedented,
Pivot.
uncharted waters.
Yes.
Hit all those keywords for the.
Buzzwords of 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, it's definitely it definitely is much cooler in here. We've had some board members and volunteers stop by in small groups, and yeah, you're used to walking in and being like, I've actually literally had to change out of a sweatshirt from being up in the office to be back up on the roof. So it's.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah. He is the
Going from
hot-blooded.
multiple summers where
Yes.
it is no joke that the paper on our desks would literally
curl.
start to curl from the humidity that was inside the theater.
Yeah.
Some of our stage curtains would actually stretch up to a foot.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stage curtains are 20 foot tall, and you think of that much fabric and you get that much
Just-
humidity in there. We had plaster and paint that would every spring would start falling and chipping. So this was a major component for the ongoing preservation of the building.
Yep.
And even though we don't have programming going on right now, we do have the air conditioning up and running, and we're not keeping it like 55 degrees in here. So we're trying to keep it not running as much as possible, but now that we have it, we're trying to keep things, I think most of them are set around 78 degrees or so.
Yeah.
So most of them are off. You would not be able to hear us right now if the auditorium units were on. So most of the units are off, and on kind of a gorgeous day like this, we're able to just use the fresh air from outside.
Very nice.
But we are utilizing the air conditioning to keep things cool with that preservation. We don't want, at the end of this project, to have even more things. There will always be things.
There will
that we
always
have to
be
address,
things to do in a 90-year-old building, but
yes.
if we can make it less and have the power to, we'll do it.
Yeah. So we have, we forgot to tease it at the beginning.
We did forget to tease it, but we have a tease.
But a short tease.
A short tease.
Brief tease.
3, 2, 1, tease over.
Yes.
So we are, we are right in the midst of our Egyptian Relief Fund. Thanks to COVID, as you've heard, we were supposed to have our first summer open. Wah wah. We haven't had a show since March 7th. We miss you guys. We hope you miss us because we miss you. But we kicked this campaign off a week ago Friday, and you guys killed the game. We're so happy. We had a goal set for you of getting us to an initial $6,000 goal, which unlocked a $14,000 pool put together of the Wurlitzer Foundation money. We had some board members donate. We had some state funding. We had this little $14,000 pot of money that you guys got us to $6,000 in a week, which is bananas. So we are currently.
It was all through.
It was all through the DeKalb County Community Foundation. We love you guys. You guys made this
thank you to them.
Doable. That's where your donations went through. So if you sent in a check or you went through the online portal, which was EgyptianReliefFund.org, you went right through the Community Foundation. So Dan Templin and his crew could not have been more helpful in helping get this set up. It was a very quick trigger pull we had to do on this. But you guys, again, humbled us, warmed our hearts. We are currently at $20,945, and this campaign stays open until Saturday, August 1st. So you just have a few days, and we're hoping to get to $25,000. We didn't pull that number literally out of the air on the roof because it's cool. We did it because that is about 1 month of expenses here at the theater. As Alex said, we aren't keeping this place like a meat locker, but we are keeping some air conditioning on to help with the preservation. We still are very active at working. I know we don't have shows, and you might say, what are you doing? It's hard to explain our jobs. They're weird. But we're very much busy buzzing inside trying to work out COVID plans of how we can safely welcome people back, how we can keep this DeKalb gem up and running so that when COVID's all done, whenever that may be, we will be sitting in a good position to get right back into that momentum of the amount of shows we were welcoming, the amount of community organizations that we were welcoming in here, because we want to be where we were prior to COVID-19 after.
And we've been doing a lot of logistics, rescheduling.
Yes.
How many different events at this point are we up to that have been impacted?
Over 50 events, and we have had an attendance loss of about 12,000 people. So.
Just since March.
So, you know, but that's why it's what's driving us. It's what's driving and striving for us to keep this building going. This building has been through, we've talked about it, the Great Depression is literally, it opened in the midst of it. It's been through World War II. It's been through all of these major events that have impacted the entire globe. So this is another one of those events. And we just happen to be the stewards in this time and place. So we are churning and burning and working our little butts off so that we can get this place right back to where it was when this is all said and done, because we don't want to have to hit a pause button on where we were. And the expansion has just been this great fire under us to get to where we can welcome you guys back, because we have this awesome project that every time we have people come in say, wow, Facebook doesn't do it justice. And we're glad to hear that because we think it looks awesome. So we can't wait for you guys to see it in person, and whatever hard work we can do now to safely welcome you guys back whenever that day may be, we'll work as hard as we can to do that. And you guys clearly have put in your literal dollars, so thank you for getting us to that $6,000 goal literally in a week. We couldn't be happier to get us already over $20,000, which just, again, warms our hearts.
Yeah, so thank you every single donor from all over Illinois, outside of Illinois, throughout the Midwest, people that grew up in DeKalb, went to NIU. So we continue to just be humbled with the amount of support that's out there. This is your Egyptian theater, and as Janine said, we want to make sure that when we get to the other side of COVID, which we will, that we are recovered and ready to remain as robust as we were before COVID. So thank you so much. We're almost at $21,000. Again, our goal is to reach $25,000 as part of this campaign. You can still contribute today through August 1st, as Janine said. You can go to our website, EgyptianReliefFund.org. That will take you directly to the donation page on the DeKalb County Community Foundation's page. They are managing all of the donations for this, so it is tax deductible. All the donations will go through them, and then once all the matching is done, they will provide those funds to the theater. And again, that's going to go to the ongoing overhead cost to keep the theater ready to come back, bounce back as soon as COVID is done. And
just a quick clarification on that, because we have been doing fundraising during this, obviously, to survive. And just a quick clarification. So Give DeKalb County, you guys, again, killed the game. That every single dollar went to this project that we're standing upon right now. This money is going to go to staffing, to insurance premiums, to bills, all that stuff that we can't usually touch if it's earmarked for a capital campaign. So that's why we're coming to you again, and as a 501c3 nonprofit, you guys have just, again, blown us out of the water. So thank you. As we continue to ask from you, we hope that we can put back into the community as much as you give to us. And another teaser, we didn't say we're going to do this, but just a way that we're giving back to the community. Starting on Thursday, August 13th, we are kicking off a live series on Facebook called #815Live. We were able to receive a grant, again, through the Wurlitzer Foundation, that we want to invest back into local musicians. So we are doing an 815 Live Facebook music series that will highlight small groups of local musicians. We're having Roger Hinchy's group. We've got my friend Peter playing. We're reaching out to all these great local musicians that don't have a stage to perform on, and we don't have a stage to welcome them to. So we figured a way we could do that is to share live music, great local artists with you guys, is by doing this series. So we're kicking that off on Thursday, August 13th. Watch our Facebook page for more information on time, how to watch, all that fun stuff. But we want to, again, we are a nonprofit. Part of our mission is to give back to the community as well, and your support of us helps us do that, is to keep us going, but also to keep all of those musicians that do not have a performance venue right now still performing. Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up for this week, and hopefully you will join us again next week for another virtual hard hat tour. Maybe we'll get Janine up on the auditorium roof. Who knows?
You won't.
No? Okay. maybe if you get us to that $25,000 by August 1st, Janine will just feel she'll be obligated.
Be so enthused.
Yes.
So enthused.
So we're if you could only feel the stress and the nerves right here.
The heart is already.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, continue.
But we're going to wrap up this week's tour like we did last week. We put together a montage of some of our favorite photos and memories over the last couple years of when we could have shows here. And so we're going to roll out with that, and we'll see you guys back here again very soon.